Hi, my name is Martin Weaver. I'm the brand MD for Hornby Railways, and we're sat here right now at the home of Hornby in Margate, in what is actually the old factory. So it's all very empty now because we don't make anything here anymore. But this is where our offices and all our design work is done, and all the bits and pieces that you see around you now. And so Hornby was founded over 100 years ago by Frank Hornby up in Liverpool, so not down here in Margate. It moved down here many years later. Started off producing clockwork metal trains, and then went on to producing electric train sets, and then has evolved their much more now detailed high-end models. But we still produce toys as well for the younger end of it, and they're all designed here at Margate. What we've tried to do with our RAL 200 product is to try and celebrate the evolution of it in a kind of a way in which you can own yourself, interact or play, depending on where you want to look at it. So there's a breadth of different models that we're producing to mark this. And this is locomotion number 1. So this is a 00 gauge, so 1/76 scale model. So despite it being absolutely tiny, it does run, and all the moving mechanism works. So to go along in the pack with locomotion number 1, we have the famous Stephenson's rocket that came a little bit later, but a very famous loco which took part in the Rainhill trials. And then we have Lion. So all these are very, very early era steam engines, but what you can see here is just from the size of them about how much they actually developed over time. So locomotion obviously is the smallest that you see there. That would have travelled at about 15 miles per hour, and as they moved on, not only did they get faster, but they could potentially run for longer and were deemed a lot safer, and more importantly could pull a longer train full of people.
Very difficult model to produce. Bear in mind, as it's 200 years old, there's not a lot of information available. The only real reference we had was a very grainy video from 1925, plus the replica model that's at the National Railway Museum in Children. We went to photograph and scan that particular model so that it gave us a reference and a starting point for the design. On screen is the finished design. Complications of the design were the rather complicated valve gear, mainly, that's on top of the loco, and getting it all to work. There we go, one finished model. Manufacturing company have done a fantastic job on it.
I'm Ben. I do product graphics here at Hornby. So once Steve has done all the CAD work and it's all finalised, I'll take the finished CAD, convert it to 2D and colour it all up. The version that we decided to do for this RAL 200 is the centenary run at Stockton, where it carried an extra plate on the front of the chimney, number 54, which is just the number it was given for that centenary run. It does come with some painted figures, which I will show you on the screen. Is these little guys here with their navy suits and beards and big top hats. It's quite an in-depth model for how small these things are.
200-year anniversary is hugely significant, I think, for us starting home here with us as a brand, obviously, with what we produce. But for the railway community, it's obviously a massive anniversary, but actually also, more importantly, for the whole country. Great Britain was the first country to have passenger rail transport. And we were a leader in that, as we were in many things right the way through the Industrial Revolution. And to see kind of that railway infrastructure and system still running today it's a real sort of landmark, and something for us, I think, as a country to be really, really proud of. And rail travel today is just as important as it was 200 years or 150 years ago. And if anything, you could argue it's even more significant as we're looking for greener and safer ways to travel. So it's a hugely important thing for the country. For Hornby as a brand, it's really, really important, because we've been active for just over half of that 200 years, making toys and models, and our fan base, whether they're young, whether they're of any age or any gender, will have a huge interest in anything which is going on to celebrate it, and anything that we're potentially producing as a toy or model to celebrate it.